Hey guys, it's Sarah. Thank you so much for watching. So today I wanted to share with you my April monthly favorites. I actually only have 2 beauty related favorites this month, but I have a bunch of random lifestyle favorites and then food favorites. And I also wanted to introduce you guys to my new baby, a cat baby. Her name is Heidi, and I will introduce her at the end of this video. I know a lot of you guys have been anxiously waiting to meet her in a video, so you'll get to meet her in just a second. But first, let's go ahead and talk about my handful of favorites. I'll start with the makeup, since I know that's why most people are here, and then we will talk about some other things. So, a couple of makeup favorites I have this month. The first one is the Covergirl Ultra Fine Brow Pencil. Okay, well, I guess I'll go ahead and introduce her now, and then we'll talk more about her adoption story at the end. But this is Heidi. She's my new kitty. She's 1 year old, and I'll tell you guys all about the story of adopting her after we get through my favorites, but I guess she wanted to join in now. So this is the Covergirl Ultra Fine Brow Pencil. I have it in the shade Soft Blonde. I really like this brow pencil. I'm wearing it in my brows right now. It's currently the only brow product I own, and I feel like it's the only one I need. I really do like to just have like one brow pencil at a time. I don't use brow gel. I don't use like pomades or powders really. I just like a very fine tip brow pencil, and I did really like the Anastasia Brow Wiz is kind of what made me fall in love with that style of brow pencil, and ever since then while I liked that one, I wanted to find something that's not over $20. So this is the Covergirl one. I think it retails, it's definitely under $10. I think it's probably around $6. And the only problem with this is it only comes in 4 shades. But the shade Soft Blonde works really well for me. I usually go for whatever shade is named taupe. Like, I used taupe for, oh no. Careful. Okay, I had to blow the candle out because she doesn't know that she shouldn't be putting her face close to those things. I had the shade taupe in the Brow Wiz and also in the NYX Micro Brow. So I feel like this one is close enough. It also works for me. I'm not super picky. I just usually want something kind of light and cool. I don't want it to pull too warm. I feel like this works just fine. It might pull like the slightest bit warm in my brows, but I mean, I like the creaminess level. It's not too stiff. I would say it's a little bit more creamy than the Brow Wiz, but it's not so creamy that it deposits too much product all at once. So I feel like it's just the perfect texture. I love the fine tip, of course. I love the tone. So this might just be the one that I continue repurchasing. Of course, I always like to try new things too, but I feel like I always have a good brow day when I'm wearing this. So this is definitely a favorite, and I'm sure it will continue to be a favorite. The other makeup favorite I have this month is actually, I just have a little trial size of it, but it's the Ulta Beauty Hydrating Face Primer. So this says it has coconut water for hydration. It's just a really nice kind of lightweight, almost just like a moisturizer. I originally thought that this was going to be a dupe for the First Aid Beauty Coconut Skin Smoothie Primer because it has coconut in it and it smells almost exactly the same. It's a hydrating primer just like the First Aid Beauty one is. I think they pretty much do similar things. I wouldn't say it's an exact dupe because it doesn't have that kind of almost pearly look to it. There's actually like no shimmer in this whatsoever. It really just feels like a lightweight kind of gel cream hybrid moisturizer, whereas the First Aid Beauty one is a little bit creamier and it does have a slight shimmer to it. A very, very light amount of kind of like a pearly shimmer. This one has none of that. So I think they're similar. I think you can pretty much achieve the same effect with both. And I've been kind of testing them side by side. I don't really notice much of a difference. I feel like they're both just kind of like nice lightweight moisturizers that add a little bit of a glow and a dewy finish to your skin under makeup. So if you're looking for a cheaper alternative to the First Aid Beauty one, this one I would say go for it. I mean, I think it does pretty much the same thing. It's not an exact dupe, but it's close, and I really like it. I've been really enjoying it. So I have a couple of like lifestyle favorites. These are kind of like eco-friendly, eco-conscious type products. The first one are these stainless steel straws. I got these from Amazon. They came in a pack of 4. I'm gonna try to link the exact ones. I actually have an Amazon store now kind of thing that they give like influencers the opportunity to do if you want to check it out. I don't think I've finished completely setting it up yet, but I will link a few favorite Amazon things on there if you do want to check it out. I'll also link to these. This came with 4, one of them's dirty right now, but they're 4 different sizes, so 2 of them are straight. There's a short one and a long one, and then there's 2 kind of curved ones. and these are, there's also a short and then a longer one that I'm not holding right now. But these just feel so trendy to me. I know that this kind of thing is like very trendy at the moment, and I don't really use these outside of the house very often because I really don't buy coffee out like at coffee shops very much. And I don't know, Seattle is pretty good about not giving straws or giving like compostable straws. If I ever am traveling and I'm anticipating needing these, I definitely will bring them. They come in like a nice little drawstring pouch, and so they're really travel friendly. They also come with a little like cleaner brush thing that you just stick up in there to really scrub it clean. And I always just hand wash them. I don't dishwasher wash them because I just want to make sure I'm getting everything out of there. Sometimes things like this don't get cleaned in the dishwasher, so these have been perfect. I just really like drinking out of them. I like to drink my iced coffee with them. I actually have a coffee favorite in just a second, but I feel like this just makes everything feel so much more refreshing. I don't know if it's because it's metal and it just like makes everything feel really cold. I feel like when I drink water out of these, I get super cold. Like, I don't know, like my body just like I start shivering. So sometimes it can be a little too cold. But I really like drinking iced coffee with them, pretty much like any kind of smoothies. They're just really fun and nice to have. I never really used disposable straws at home anyway, but now that I have these, I use them all the time. So they're fun. I like them. If you're looking for something to take with you on the go to use instead of plastic straws, if you use those a lot, it can be a really good way to cut down on waste, and I just really like them. And then another favorite that I have, this is another kind of lifestyle favorite, are these reusable produce bags. So I have them from the brand Purify You, and these I got from Amazon as well. I think they came in a pack of like 15. These are great if you, before I had these, I didn't really use the plastic ones anyway. I would just kind of put things loose in my cart because, I don't know, I wash them when I get home. So, but now that I have these, I do use them, and I really like having this as an option, especially like lately I've been going to this produce stand that sells, not really a produce stand, but it's like a produce shop that sells blueberries and stuff. Look at her. Oh my gosh, she's so cute. That sells blueberries kind of in these like pint containers, but that doesn't have a lid. So I like to bring these so that I can transport them home with me and not worry about them spilling all over my car. So just things like that, it's nice to have. This set also came with a bunch of different sizes. So there's these larger ones, and these are kind of like a mesh material, so you can kind of see through them. And then there's a medium size and a smaller size. So these are just really good way to cut down on plastic. Again, depending on where you live, some places, like I feel like places like Seattle where I live, like cashiers are familiar with this kind of thing because this kind of area is just a little bit more eco-conscious in general. But if you live somewhere where people don't use this kind of thing very often, you might need to just tell the cashier and let them know that those are produce bags. I feel like if I would have used something like this in Georgia, they would have looked at me like I had 3 heads. Like, what is this? Because it's just so, any kind of caring about the environment is a little foreign to some people. But depending on where you live, but don't be embarrassed about it. I mean, you're spreading a good message by using this kind of thing. So I really like those. I think they're, really convenient. I usually just throw them into my reusable grocery bags that I bring with me anyway, and that way I have them. I don't always use them, but I have them as an option. So those are some lifestyle favorites, and then I have 3 kind of like food related favorites. So I was talking about iced coffee a second ago, and I have not been able to stop drinking iced coffee lately. I have not made hot coffee at home in probably like over a month because I've just been obsessed with cold brew and iced coffee. I was buying like the Starbucks iced coffee, but that's like $5 for a bottle, and that would give me like maybe 5 servings of coffee. So I discovered this at Trader Joe's, the cold brew coffee concentrate. So they say that this makes 12 8-ounce cups of coffee. And basically you just need like a tiny little bit in the bottom of your cup, and then you can mix either water, I usually don't do water because I feel like it waters it down, or almond milk or whatever kind of milk you use. Sometimes I splash a little bit of creamer on top of that to make it even more creamy. And this lasts so much longer. It looks like a small bottle, but this will last me usually like a week and a half, and I drink just like 1 cup a day. So I will drink that with my cute little stainless steel straws, and it tastes so good. I feel like this is a lot more cost effective than the Starbucks iced coffee I was buying, and this is actual cold brew. It's not iced coffee, like it's never been hot. They kind of brag about that, I think. So yeah, really good. This I think it's $8 for a bottle, which is kind of a lot, but it does last a long time. And think about it, if you were to buy, you couldn't even buy 2 cups of cold brew coffee from a coffee shop for $8. Usually those are what, like $5? So it's still much more cost effective than going out and buying coffee, and I love it. It's so good. I want some now, but I really can't have more than 1 cup of coffee a day. So while we're on the topic of Trader Joe's, I also recently tried this watermelon jerky. This is insane. This is so weird. It's basically just dehydrated watermelon, and I'll show you what it looks like. So I only have 1 piece left, but this is just like one wedge of watermelon, and it's completely flattened. This tastes like candy. This is so good. If you like watermelon flavored candy, you will love this. And all it is watermelon. There's no added sugar, nothing, like ingredients, watermelon, that's it. So weird, so good. I've heard that not every Trader Joe's has it yet. I think it's a new product to them, but I found it last week. I think it was kind of pricey, like over $3 for this bag, and this is just 1 serving. I think it was like maybe 5 pieces like that, so not super cheap, and I'm pretty sure you can make this yourself if you have a dehydrator. Probably wouldn't be too hard. In fact, I did see some recipes online for this kind of thing, so you could definitely make this yourself, but just had to give that a little mention because it's so weird. I never would have thought of that. It's basically like it's the same as like dried bananas or dried pineapples or something, but it's just crazy. And it honestly tastes like artificial watermelon, which I love the taste of artificial watermelon, but it's not. I mean, it's real watermelon. I think that just because it's dried without all the water in there, it really like boosts the flavor. So if you like watermelon flavored candies, you would probably really like this, and it's healthier, obviously, since it's just fruit. Last weird but kind of cool favorite. This is a drink. This is the Bragg organic apple cider vinegar all natural drink. They make a lot of, I think they make regular apple cider vinegar. They also make like liquid aminos and nutritional yeast and stuff. Like a lot of like health food store type things. I found this at the grocery outlet. I don't know where this is sold normally. Grocery outlet is literally just a grocery outlet, so they're always changing what they carry, but I bought like 5 of them last time because I tried it the week before and I loved it. This is the pomegranate and goji berry one. I also tried their ginger one and it was so good. But if you like the taste of like kind of vinegary kombucha, I love any kind of vinegar drink, and it kind of just tastes like juice, like a fruit juice with a little hint of vinegar. So good. It's like sweet and tart. It's sweetened with stevia extract, so it is very sweet, but it only has 5 grams of sugar per serving, and I just think it's so good. If you've never tried like a vinegary drink, but you like kind of like tart things, it's so good. I don't know where you can buy this. Probably health food stores. I'm sure maybe like Whole Foods has it if you have a grocery outlet near you. Mine has been carrying this for the last couple of weeks, but I love this. It's so good. And really just like I know there are other brands that sell vinegar drinks, usually like in the kombucha section. I'm not a big kombucha drinker. I usually don't drink anything other than coffee and water, but I just love, it's just so refreshing and just so yummy. So that's been kind of like a treat lately. So here's my Heidi girl. Can you say hi? Can you say hi? I think she's in the mood to play. But this is Heidi. She's in the mood to play right now. Hopefully she'll probably come back up here again. But I adopted her just earlier this week. I had mentioned in a previous video, I think just like last weekend, talking about how I was planning on adopting a cat soon, and I was honestly having a really hard time because I had already visited a couple of shelters and knew I wanted to adopt from a shelter or some sort of rescue, and I had been meeting some and none of them had really clicked, and I was getting kind of worried because I was like, how am I gonna pick a cat? Like how am I gonna really know when it's the right one? And I think that going and visiting a few different shelters, I think I'd gone to 3 different places before I actually went back to the first place I went to and adopted her. I went to like 3 different places, and I think that in visiting a few shelters I was able to kind of figure out more kind of what I was looking for. So I figured out that I was leaning towards a younger cat, so maybe 1 to 2 years old. Probably not a kitten because I know that those get adopted so easily and adult cats have a little bit of a harder time getting adopted, but I was open to a kitten too. I was leaning towards a female because I've always grown up with female cats. I generally get the sense that female cats are a little bit easier sometimes, a little like behaviorally. But again, I was open, but you know, that's kind of what I was leaning towards. So anyway, fast forward to Monday morning. I had kind of been like avoiding looking at cats online because it was just getting so overwhelming to me. Like there were just so many sweet looking ones on like Pet Finder and stuff. And so I'd been kind of avoiding it, and it was Monday morning and my boyfriend Martin sent me a link to her. I guess he had just been kind of like browsing because he loves cats too, and he knew that I was obviously looking to adopt a cat very soon. And so I guess he was just like browsing, and he sent me her page on Seattle Humane's website. And so Seattle Humane is where I adopted her from, but he sent me her picture. I think that Monday, it was Monday, April 22nd, Earth Day. I think that was the first day that she was available for adoption at Seattle Humane, because I hadn't seen her on there before, and neither had he. He said she wasn't on there the night before. So anyway, he sent me her picture, and I immediately was just like, oh my gosh, she's so pretty. She looks a lot like the cat that's sort of my cat that lives with my parents, named Pumpkin. That was kind of the first thing that drew me in. I wasn't necessarily looking for a cat that looked exactly like Pumpkin, but Pumpkin is a cat who I kind of adopted when I was like in high school, and she lives with my parents. They take great care of her. She loves it there, so I didn't bring her with me when I moved. But the fact that she looked like Pumpkin kind of drew me in. And then I was reading her description on there, and it said, you know, very friendly, very easygoing, and that was the kind of temperament that I was kind of looking for. She sounded literally perfect, and so I don't know what came over me, because I had just started working for the day on Monday. This was at like 10 o'clock in the morning on Monday, and he sent me that link to her, and I don't know what came over me, but I was like, I have to go now. Like I need to go meet her right now, because it was about 10:30 in the morning, and the shelter, Seattle Humane, opened at 11. So I had a feeling that she wasn't gonna last long there, because a lot of the cats they have there are, you know, older cats. She had just become available, I think. So I knew that I needed to hurry if she was even still there, because I tried calling them to ask if she was still there, and I didn't get, they didn't pick up. So I was like, I need to go right now. I don't know why, I just knew. Could just be a coincidence, but I don't know. I just felt like I really needed to go. And so I went, and Martin came with me, and we went together, and I was like one of the first people there. There weren't a lot of people there, which is really nice, because the first time I went was on like a busy Saturday afternoon, and so this was a much different experience, honestly much better experience. And I just went in and I said, hey, I'm looking to adopt a cat. There's one in particular that I saw that I was interested in, named Heidi, and Heidi was her shelter name. And so I went back there and met her, and it was just like an immediate connection. I felt like I was meeting someone that I already knew when I met her. Like the moment I saw her, I knew that I was gonna take her home. And I opened up her cage, and she came right up to me, and she was purring and just like rubbing against me, super affectionate. And so I was like, yeah, this is it, I'm taking her. So I adopted her that day, brought her home. Very thankful that my coworkers are so understanding. Like I told my boss, I was like, this is kind of sudden, but I'm going to Seattle Humane right now at like 10 a.m. And she's like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Like she totally understood, and like that's one of the great things about my job that I'm so thankful for, is like my coworkers are all like animal lovers too, so she totally understood. And it was just like immediate love at first sight, and she's been so sweet. I started out with just having her in my bathroom, because that's usually what they recommend, is just to keep them in just like one kind of small room, usually a bathroom. So I had her in the bathroom for the first 3 days, and then today's Friday, yesterday I started letting her kind of explore the apartment. I even let her in my room because she was doing great. And I'm still having her sleep in the bathroom for the first maybe week or two, just so that she doesn't develop separation anxiety. I've heard that that's a thing, like you need to get them used to sleeping by themselves before you let them start sleeping with you. I don't know if that's true for every single cat, but just kind of as a precaution, in case I ever go out of town, I want her to be okay and not like freak out. So anyway, she hasn't been sleeping in my room with me yet, but probably at the end of next week I'll start letting her sleep in here, but she's just doing so good. Look at that baby. She's so friendly and affectionate and just like gentle, and she's still very playful. I mean, she almost has like a lot of kittenish tendencies still, even though she's like 1 year and 1 month old. I think her date of birth is March 23rd, 2018. So she's just a little bit over a year old, and she had a couple of little like health things. Like before, she had ringworm. She's clear of it now, but she had ringworm. She also had like an upper respiratory infection and like an eye infection that kind of spread from the other infection. I think that's pretty common for cats. So she's on like eye drops and then 2 different oral medications just for this first week. It's been kind of, I hate having to give her pill because obviously she doesn't like it, but she's been so good about it. Like, she's just about the easiest cat to give medicine to because she's just so agreeable and so sweet. And I'm just so glad I found her. Like, I'm glad that I didn't just pick any cat. I'm glad that I kind of waited. I'd already visited Seattle Humane once, and obviously that first time she wasn't there yet. And then this was like a week and 2 days after my first visit there when I went to meet her. And I'm glad that I didn't just like pick any cat because I wanted to wait for the one that I had a really strong connection with. So this is it. This is my baby, and I'm so in love with her. I'm just obsessed with her. And you guys were so nice when I was asking in, I think it was in my Shop My Stash Get Ready With Me. I was just kind of talking about how I was looking for a cat and I just was having a hard time knowing, you know, how do I know when it's the one, you know? And so many of you guys left so many helpful comments just like sharing how you adopted your pet, and I loved reading those just because it's so heartwarming to hear how other people adopt their pets. But it also helped me know like, okay, I am going to find the perfect cat. It's probably just going to take some time, but I'm so happy with her. Oh, and the other funny thing is she was transferred from another shelter, and that's pretty common for a lot of the cats who end up kind of in this area, I think, because there's just a lot less of an overpopulation problem in like the more urban, like Pacific Northwest areas, because I think that the laws here maybe are just more progressive and people are just a little bit more educated on this stuff. But she was actually transferred from a shelter in Mississippi, and so she's a Southern girl, and I just think that's so cute. Like, she's a Mississippi girl. I just thought that was a cute little detail to share. So anyway, thank you again to everyone who, like, you guys have been so sweet and just like sharing in the excitement with me. I've been posting a lot of her on like my Instagram stories, so if you want to see more Heidi content, definitely check out my Instagram. But anyway, thank you for meeting Heidi, and thanks for watching today's video. I know it was kind of a random video, but I felt like introducing her kind of fit into like just like a lifestyle favorites video. So thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you guys next time.